buying a mart.
What kind of mart? A mart? That's what you call your grandma. You can't buy your grandma.
My aunt.
Or your aunt. Mart. Are you want to leave this in, or should we start?
Leave it. Leave
in the mart.
I was about to say buying a car in this market is difficult.
Buying a mart in this Carvet.
And that's why you need to know a guy. Yeah. And we know two guys at two different dealerships that can help you out. One is Mike Stacks over at Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi, West Colonial Drive in front of the fairgrounds in the heart of Orlando.
There are WRXs around my neighborhood like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And that new orange color, you've seen that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That is, I thought I had fallen in love with like the blue with the gold rims.
Yeah.
I like that orange, man.
And Mike Stacks, he's in our BDM group.
Yeah,
so
hit him up.
You can be like, I've seen this all the time, like, who's the Subaru rep in here? Someone's going to tag Mike and
Stacks.
He'll help you out. But if you just call the dealership and ask for Mike Stacks, they'll give them to you, and he'll help you out. As long as you tell him you're a Tom and Dan listener, you're a BDM, he'll help you out. And if you're looking to buy a Chevy...
Get a Corvette.
Or a Corvette.
Just get one.
Up there at Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont, J.C. Harrelson, he's the sales general manager up there.
Yeah, he's a big dog.
He will help you out. You tell him you're a Tom and Dan listener, what you're looking for. He'll give you a sales guide.
If you want the regular Silverado like Tom has, you can snag one of those. An awesome and super reliable truck. I believe they're taking registrations for the new, the electric version of that will be out at some point.
My wife drives a Traverse.
Yes.
She loves her Traverse.
Great car.
I've had the Subaru Forester, the WRX. Subarus are great cars. They hold their value. The resale value is ridiculous.
And you're going to need somebody to talk to because buying cars now is difficult.
Yeah,
it's difficult. So having a point of contact and somebody you can even, talk to is extremely important.
And both these dealerships will not go above MSRP. Other dealerships are, and Don Mealy and his whole group,
that is bad.
He's saying, I will not do this. I'm going to stick
because he's honest. You should not be doing that.
And because they can in this market because it's so crazy. So that's why you should use both our car dealer sponsors, Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi, West Colonial Drive, and DM Chevy in Claremont. All right.
Next email. Right?
Are we doing email?
We were doing it?
No, we're talking roller.
Back to roller skating.
Okay, back to roller skating.
Bus keeps trying to get me to go to the rink with him. And I told him I had a very traumatic experience the first time I went. And it's going to take me a bit before I'm comfortable going back. And I just listened to Bungalower in the bus, and he took a friend out there, broke his arm.
Really?
Yeah. What? And now I'm like, well, I'm definitely not going out with Bus now.
Well, like falling, that is.
But I wear a lot of pads.
I made the comment earlier that it would help you loosen up if you skated, and I do believe that. But the thing you and I have to worry about.
He's going to stiff skate.
Well, when you stiff fall, like I fell off of that electric skateboard, and I haven't been the same since. This wrist, when I landed, like this wrist, like there are certain positions I do when I'm playing guitar. Like, I have to loosen up. I have to go stretch
my elbow, my wrist are messed up.
It's not right.
I went to fall, and I went straight on, so it jammed my elbow in. Yeah. Oh, it still hurts. I can't extend all the way back now.
Crystal, she fell on her ass, and then her jaw didn't
she dislocated her jaw.
For 8 months.
God, we're old. Hold on. I'm doing it to myself.
You're not used to falling straight on a hard floor with not catching yourself at all.
Maisie does something.
It'll rattle your bones.
Maisie does something now that if I did it, I would instantly start crying. And I think you two would as well. She can go from like this. She can go from a full standing position and then jump down on her knees. And her knees will hit the concrete like, dang! No big deal. Just like, I'm doing a dance move. I don't know how that works. If I were to do that, I think my spine would just be like...
Oh, yeah. Like, it would pay for it for weeks. The kids, they're light, first of all. That helps. They're only falling down to 43 pounds.
Yeah,
you know
not
what I'm
even.
And their bones are rubber. So they don't feel it,
What about indoor skates? Do they make anything that you can wear inside your house to skate?
You can actually modify your Vans to have skates. That's the whole thing you can do now. There's like a lot of Etsy shops that are doing that.
Vans.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
I thought about getting some
because the old school roller skates are just a leather shoe, right, with a hard bottom that you bolt the skates.
It's a metal, like aluminum metal bottom, and then they have for me, it was always those bright orange wheels. Yeah, and then you'd have orange laces and orange stoppers, and they were like high tops, and they kind of looked like...
Now you can get low tops or high tops. There's different styles. There's also inside wheels, outside wheels.
I like high tops only because
high tops.
I got
too.
weak ass ankles from soccer.
So let me ask you, Sam, what would enhance the experience? Because we kind of stumbled upon there's a nostalgic
Ecstasy wouldn't. I mean, you take ecstasy while you're skating.
A nostalgic aspect of why they haven't changed. But if you were going to build your own roller rink and to encompass like not only kids but adults like that are getting into roller skating,
honestly, and there's Central Florida Skate Park, I believe it's called, which is an inside skate park. That there's skateboarders in there too, but they have like roller days, and like people just go in there on their quads, so then you can go up ramps, around corners, you know what I'm saying, like, so there's skate more parks. Of like an obstacle course type thing.
Yes, I know that's like a friend of mine, she goes to the skate park with her sons, and she roller skate or quads, and their sons skateboard.
Oh, all of his friends are like, hey, looking down your mom's shirt when she fell over there.
Yeah, she got big Fakos too.
Does she?
Oh, they're definitely talking about it.
Yeah, you'll sit up there and watch her go up and down, and then she falls, or she bends down to tire skate, and you look down her shirt.
Yeah, that's happening.
That's what you do.
Yeah, because she's Colombian.
She got a big booty. I love them. Round. Round mound.
All the skate kids there are looking at it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That would make it better.
What about different, like they're all smooth, but different style flooring, right? Follow me here. Like your skating ground, it's always been the traditional like basketball hardwood, right? Like the wood.
See, some have updated.
Okay.
So some have
concrete.
Some of there's some concrete ones, and then there's some that are like that hard foam that sometimes you'll find at like a playground. You know what I'm talking about?
The bouncy foam.
So when you fall, there's a little give.
All of them should be that way.
But that's hard. Doesn't that slow you down? It slows you down, right?
I'm sure you have to work harder to go fast, yeah. I've never actually skated on one.
But better to fall on.
Yeah.
So that is a good example of technology changing. What I'm talking about is like, how about around the whole rink? Like there's a 20-foot section of smooth concrete, a 20-foot section of some sort of different textured surface that you can like slide on, different things that you're like,
how about a people mover that goes up just enough for you to get up to the top of a hill, and you could just come back down, and then you could grab it and go back up.
Yeah, some sort of
almost
level
like an escalator
change.
of some sort.
Even small, like
not crazy.
Like it just goes up 2 feet in a span of 20 feet. So you're just like going over a hump. I don't know.
I got something.
Any change would be something.
You can listen to the music that the DJ's playing on the speakers, or you can bring your own headphones and Bluetooth into their system to get premium audio.
A lot of people do like the quiet raves, right? So everyone has their own headphones and they're dancing to their own music.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. But I mean, like, it'd be cool if you could listen to what they're doing so you could all like choreograph it, I guess. I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
Or have the roller skating rink when I was a kid, and I don't see too much of this now, but it had a middle area where it was built up walls of carpet, and then basically you can go in on like 4 points, but in the side or inside of it was a miniature roller rink that was probably the size of these two studios or whatever. So it was a small area inside, but it was walled off, and there was a middle. Did you guys ever have that?
Ours was set up like,
in the middle of the big rink?
Yes, like in the direct center. There's
you had a bigger rink than us. We were small.
That's usually in a separate room.
Okay, this is Hot Wheels Miami circa 1989.
You had a bigger rink. See, ours was very small, standard warehouse. And then imagine you come through the double doors, and to your right is a glassed-off little ticket area where, the little glass, and then you buy a ticket.
Same thing with the Cimarron Skateway.
Yeah, and then you go in, and then to your right is snack bar. To your left is skates. Then to your far left is arcade games, and then in front of you is oval rink. That's it. Nothing else.
Yes, yeah.
That's it.
Cimarron Skateway has like a kid area, like a square kid area just for like young kids, and then but the same snack bar, and then like a little arcade section. But like the inside of where you pick up your like potato skates or whatever, looks like it's never changed since the 80s.
No, it hasn't.
The wood cubbies,
Formica.
the like wood cubbies that are 50 years old that have the scratches of 50 years of people putting skates in and out of them. Like they have a smell to it. It smells like my old elementary school.
Yeah.
Like it
probably asbestos or something.
No, I know. It's like wood
some sort
mixed
of material breaking down the half-life of the drywall.
Like I
found it. I found Hot Wheels. There's a video.
That's a good name, dude. That's a good name.
No,
I
have never seen this type of skating rink.
Hot Wheels is a good name.
It was in Miami, and they used to have a giant roller skate that would drive around town.
That's dope. We need that for a show.
It was hilarious. Like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile of
you
roller
need that,
skates.
Sam. You need to drive around town. We should have done that with the Griff truck. Falconer Jones, if you're listening.
Give it back.
Yeah, we're going to need that truck back. We're making a big roller skate.
He was driving it around Memorial Day. He's like, in honor of Memorial Day, I am driving around the Griff truck.
That's disrespectful.
No. He loves it. I'm like, why? He's got the new Bronco.
It's his favorite video.
Did he get it?
Yeah,
Rich people can get it.
Yeah. He paid extra. He's got a million different cars. The guy I think he's a millionaire.
The new Bronco looks amazing if you can get one.
But he drives around the Griff truck.
He chooses that over a 2022 Bronco Sasquatch package. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So I wonder what you could make at a roller rink, because
I always assume that those type of businesses are legacy businesses in the fact that
I found the giant skate car. It looks awesome.
I feel like somebody's dad or mom or grandpa or grandma or great-grandma or great-grandpa owned that land
and they left it to them.
And they left it to them, and they're just barely keeping it open, and maybe they're independently wealthy. I always assume that.
Because they charge a decent.
It's just like getting passed down generation to generation, right?
Yeah, that's what I assume, but I could be wrong.
It's not ultra cheap, and I've been on there. Like they partner with the schools. This is brilliant.
Oh yeah, they get breaks. Yeah.
When I go on like my kids' elementary school night, right, and they market. Like at the elementary school, they market like, hey, you get a discount and we're all going to be there. It's brilliant, by the way, for the actual roller rink, because when I go there for the elementary school night, it is slammed.
Yes.
Like there are.
Oh, I'm telling you, dude, I went on Memorial Day and it was slammed because they're doing a summer camp. They all do summer camps too.
And it's like
it's free, not free, but it's cheap babysitting.
I think it's like $15 for the kids to skate or something like that.
I don't even think it's that much, dude.
Okay,
I thought it was like it wasn't. I mean,
maybe
cheap.
if you have to rent your skates, yeah.
No,
okay, so I think that Hot Wheels is now Super Wheels Skating Center. And I'm on their website, and I'm looking at the potato skates, and damned if those aren't exactly. I mean, apparently everybody had the same potato skates. We always call them
they still have those
potato skates. And then the skate car is freaking amazing. There's the skate car.
Look at it. It's awesome.
Dude, skate car's where it's at. It's even got a stopper in the front.
You know what? Maybe I was just born hating fun, because you
hate all of
Cimarron
us?
Skateway's hiring, guys.
Even when I was a kid and saw that skate car riding around Miami, I didn't like it. Everybody's like, oh, look at him. No, I'm just like, stupid.
Are we going to trace back your hatred of fun?
I remember it would pull up in front of our middle school, and people were like, "Oh, the skate car's here!"
Yeah, skate car.
And then I was like, "I'm not even looking at it."
You disgust me, skate car.
You're stupid.
Why did you, as a small child, you hated a skate car? I didn't think it was possible.
Didn't even.
No, you hated fun from the beginning.
Yeah, I was born this way. Lady Gaga. You can't hate on.
It's like $10 to go skating.
They got a STEM program.
Yeah. And it's $3 to rent skates.
But even with $10, when there were 200 people packed in that place, so like that's $2,000 right there, and then you rent skates,
drinks, snacks, arcade games.
Skate lessons are $10 a session.
You got to be pulling like $5,000 in one of those nights in revenue, but I guess then you get to pay your employees. To AC, like the power bill in that place has got to be a crazy amount.
Do they have this at your skateway? Because, man, Super Wheels in Miami, they have all these classes, and they teach you, like in the beginning class, you get push and roll, balance on one foot, roll to a T-stop, back scissors. This. And then in the intermediate, they get you spirals, body posture, 2-foot turn, bunny hop, scooter side push. And then the advanced, they teach you mohawk turns, 1-foot turns, edges, basic footwork, jumps and spins, dances, and figures. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. I didn't know you could
level up, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's odd who knows how to skate, because it's not stereotypical. when I see the dads get out there, because
it transcends race and age, I believe, too.
And
we have a direct link. Craig LaFleur's family used to own a skating rink in Louisiana.
Really?
Let's ask him about it.
I want to know the business. Like, how can you make money?
Sounds like it.
If you can, we should buy a skating rink.
I'm down.
And only play our podcast while you skate. No music.
It seems like you're going to be constantly sued because no one's wearing helmets, again, which is odd in our current day society. You'd think one nerd would be in there with a helmet. No helmet.
Yeah.
Not even one. It's weird. You always see one overly cautious person in any other.
I see people in pads, but not helmet.
Yeah. I'll see a knee pad or a kid, whatever, but never a helmet. And I see kids falling, hitting their heads all the time. Like,
never seen a helmet.
You're wearing wheels on your feet, and they get launched out
with other people with wheels on their feet, and they're falling down left and right. That was the thing. I can't do it with the kids anymore because I'm eventually going to hurt one of these kids.
I like it when
they just fall right in front of you or stop right in front of you.
I like it when they grab other adults as they're going down, dragging the adult down as well.
I straight up told a girl, she looked at me, and I go, "You better go because I can't stop." But I almost ran right through her.
I like it when little kids are floundering and then they grab your sweatshirt, pulling you to the ground.
Yeah.
I love that.
And like, there's all these signs about like, do not hold your kid on roller skates because I imagine like,
your body weight will smoosh the air out of them, killing them.
Some dad holding a baby on skates, they're like, zick, and then you're falling with your full fat dad weight
on concrete.
And smushing your kid. For sure but again, no one's enforcing any of this. It's total chaos. There's 250 people on roller skates falling all over the place. Like, I imagine owning that business. You're just like, well, it's any day now. Someone's going to have a traumatic brain injury and be in a wheelchair for the rest of their life, and they are suing me out of existence because some kid spilt their Coke, and some lawyer is going to, you know what I'm saying? Sue my insurance company. At least, here's the thing. They'll sue your insurance company, and then the insurance company will be like, well, we settled. Bye-bye. We're never going to insure you.
Just like nothing's changed with skating rinks, I think they are the only company that is a be cool bro scenario. All the patrons they don't care. If they get hurt, they're like, my own fault.
I remember when I was a young boy, I remember I would go there and I enjoyed the skating and I'd skate with my god sisters and have a great time. But I would look up at that DJ booth and I'd always be like, one day, man.
Yes,
I'm going to be in that DJ booth.
I'll get to pick the music.
I'm going to play in Supersonic.
Which, by the way, my husband basically is now because he brings a giant powered speaker out to the outdoor rink and we just blast his Spotify.
That's dope.
We have our own skating
playlist, whatever.
Which I'm sure all the randoms that show up hate, but
as far as kid jobs go, being a roller rink DJ,
super fun.
And when I was a kid, that was the
top tier.
The top tier of cool jobs you could have as a kid, right?
How was your setup? Because ours, the booth had glass and it was like angled.
Yeah.
So it like kind of came out like, like
a golf cart windshield.
Well, more like a air traffic controller. You know how the towers have it's like the windows are angled.
Yeah.
Like out. So the top and then it kind of tailors down. Like his window was out. So he kind of looked over the rink and it was tinted in really cheap, dark purple. And that's because they tinted it themselves. Dark purple tint. And you couldn't see in there. But you could just see a silhouette, almost like Deal or No Deal. You'd see the banker up there. And I'd be like, one day I'm going to see what's up there. I'm going to see that guy. I'm going to be that guy. Like, I'd look up there and be like, I'm going to be up there playing the rap music. You'll see.
And they weren't using turntables or anything.
No,
right?
like CD player.
No.
They're just a
tape deck, CD player.
But
sometimes the radio, if nobody was up there, they just turn it on like BJ 105 here in town and just let rock music play.
So they weren't doing anything manually with the music, but they were talking. Right.
Yeah, they'd be like...
They were talking
couple skate only. Couple skate only. Don't forget, we got 2-for-1 hot dogs at the snack bar. Daniel Lee Dennis.
Your mother's here.
Your mommy called, you little baby pussy.
That happened.
Yeah, they do stuff like that.
That happened when I was there. They're like, James, come to the front. Your mom says you're leaving.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
they would
you go to the DJ for announcements.
Yeah.
Someone's lights are on in the parking lot.
Yeah.
They'd be like, Dan Lee Dennis, your father's here to pick wake you up. And I'd go up there, and my dad would be in tiny dukes and a V-neck T-shirt with bright yellow armpit deodorant stains, and he'd be air humping to the music to embarrass me. He'd be like humping, loaded. He'd be dancing. Yeah, he's got like 15 Jack and Cokes in him, and he's air humping with his friend Bucky, and they're dancing, trying to embarrass me, and then oh god, and he loved it. They would have been working on like a shed, so he would come into the Dayton skate covered in like paint or dirt or whatever, and it'd be so embarrassing.
You know what's? It tells me like when you're a kid, you don't go to the bathroom that much. Like you could, because I remember going to the roller.
Never
rink
went to the potty ever.
I never went. Like I was like, do you have to take off your skates
my God.
when you go to the bathroom?
I might have been at the skating rink for 45 minutes and my husband peed twice. I was like, come on, man.
Does he skate in there?
Yeah.
I never did that. Never put my skates in a bathroom. You know what? You bring up something that I'm thinking about it now. Never been in a skating rink bathroom ever.
Because it's kind of gross because then you fall on the
well, don't fall.
No, your wheels are putting pee-pee everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you skate
his wheels, your wheels. Anybody that goes in there is skating pee-pee everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you go back
on the rink.
On the rink, and you're skating pee-pee, and then I fall, and then I'm touching it with my hands in my mouth.
Gross.
Or you're just sitting eating pizza, spinning your wheels with your hand. Don't do that. Don't touch the wheels. There's a lot of pee-pee on there.
They won't let you bring in dirty wheel skates of your own.
They check your skates.
Like
no, they don't mind.
They don't.
Not at Astro Skate, they don't.
No, because
I
checked our skates.
At Cimarron,
that's what I've heard. I heard Cimarron is very...
Certain things they don't want on their floor.
Oh, like Astro Skate, anything goes, baby.
All right. Pee-pee skates? All right. Bye-bye.
This is about a dream about Bus Decker. Hi, T, D, and Sam. Last night, I had the strangest dream about John Busdecker. He was a middle school teacher, and I was his student, even though I was in my 30s.
Oh, he'd take advantage of that, just like the Police song. Young teacher, the subject of schoolgirl fantasy. You know?
I know. My sister-in-law and I were at his bachelor pad. He wasn't married in the dream. And told her I thought I had a crush on him.
What?
And wanted to make out, but I knew it was inappropriate because he was my teacher, and I didn't know if he felt the same way. She told me She told me we could just be naked buddies and lay in bed naked together.
Wait, Busdecker said that? That sounds like him. That's on Brad. Hey, let's just lay in bed naked together. Let me put a pube on your Coke.
No, I believe that was the sister-in-law saying this. We could be naked buddies and lay in bed naked together, but not do anything.
Man, why haven't I ever thought to tell somebody, hey, you want to play naked buddies?
I tell people that all the time.
Well, you never tell me that.
Peeping Tom and the Naked Buddies. I told her that it would be awkward and I'd rather break the ice by having sex right away than holding off.
I agree with that. Sex is a good icebreaker.
Nothing else happened in the dream besides I remember telling him he had a nice house and that he should get some white curtains and black rods. I also remember thinking he had Christmas blankets on his bed and that I should change them out for him.
Tom loves dreams.
I know. I'm sorry.
Please don't send us your dream.
I'm sorry to his wife and my husband for sharing this terrible and strange dream. I do not know Busdecker, nor am I a pervert.
Dream report. Tom at TomandDan.com. Send your dreams to Tom
send
at
us your dreams.
Yeah, send them all to Tom at TomandDan.com.
It's the equivalent of telling me, like, I thought of this weird thing today. One day I was flying to the moon. and they're
not even that creative. Come on, man.
I flew to the moon, and then I was sitting there, and I had ultimate power. And then all of a sudden, my PE teacher was there, and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "We're on the
naked
moon,
buddies on the moon."
And then I looked around, and I'm now I'm in my middle school again, and then I'm sitting there, and then I'm naked, and just like,
you hate it. I know
because I'm like, well, what am I supposed to get from that? What does that tell me?
Nothing.
It's just an imagination of nonsense.
Yeah.
It does. There's no value to it.
No, I know what you're saying.
It's just. So you had a sex dream that's not really a sex dream about Busdecker? Like,
but it must have been
Get in line.
I mean, if you're having a dream about Busdecker where you're talking to each other and you say, hey, you want to play naked buddies, that's a sex dream. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It means that you find them sexually attractive. But it's like, so does a lot of probably people, right? Good-looking bus.
Do you dream?
No.
Have you ever dreamed?
Yes, I have.
Can you remember when you dream?
Yeah, once a year or something.
Oh my God, it's like Christmas.
It's just that, I never remember it. I try to forget it as fast as possible.
Do you dream?
Yes.
Do you remember your dreams?
Oh, yeah.
Can you control yourself in your dreams?
The past month have been real bad.
Okay, those are nightmares. Can you control things in your dreams?
Sometimes.
What about your hubby? Does he dream?
Or I can shift the dream if I want.
Oh,
the scenario.
Cool.
Depends. It not all the time.
I can't control things in my dreams normally, and it's that's the part that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Is that I know I'm in my dream, and I can feel like I'm in my dream, and I feel like I can control it, but I can't. And I'm just going through the motions.
Yeah.
So then I want to be the hell out of there because I'm out of control.
Lately, like in the past couple years, like I will have in the dream, I'm suffocating. And I can't breathe. I'm trying to breathe,
yes.
and then I wake myself up, and I realize that I was
That's
actually
apnea.
Yeah,
and
I was
your wife
actually
is
suffocating.
pretending to be asleep, but she was trying to choke you to death.
And then I'm like, like I finally when I start breathing, like heart's beating, and I'm like, I think I was really like struggling to breathe, and then it was in my dream, but I was like, I couldn't breathe.
So, but you were asleep. You know, I do that during when I'm awake. I'll be watching TV sometimes. I do this new thing called awake apnea. I'll just be watching TV and I'll find myself, and then my body will
if you get too high, you'll forget to breathe.
Yeah, my body will automatically take a huge breath. It'll be like, you got to breathe, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, how out of shape am I if I can't even be awake?
So then I'm like, is that something to be concerned about, or not breathing?
I don't think so. You wear a CPAP?
Do a sleep study.
My body will.
You don't snore anymore. You lost all that weight.
Yeah, I don't snore.
Me neither.
But I will stop breathing apparently. But it only
That's not
happens once every 4 months or so.
Yeah,
it doesn't not every night. And Crystal will tell me.
I think you're fine then.
Yeah, it's just a random anomaly. Where
my husband did a sleep study, and they were like, it's fine. They were saying if it's over a certain amount, then you need to be worried. So if it's once every 4 months, I think you're fine.
I think random, humans just randomly, when they're sleeping, and it's that's how you sleep.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, I remember when I dated a girl before Andrea, and I'm not saying this to alarm her if she's listening to this, but I remember being told oh, you had a seizure in your sleep.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry.
Jesus,
that is the normal reaction. Oddly enough, it's weird. You're like the 9th person this week when I'm telling you about my sleep paralysis seizures, where the person just busts out laughing about it. But yeah, you're the bad one. I'm
sorry.
I had a girl say, "Oh yeah, you had a seizure," and then I went to the doctor. I was like, "Oh, I had a sleep seizure," and then I had this old real man doctor at the time. This is before I had my wife. And he was like, "It's fine." He's like, well,
I like that.
Yeah, it's it's yes. Everyone seizes out while they're sleeping. It's it's a thing.
Was it you trying to wake? Because I remember.
I think I was frothing.
Oh no!
I was frothing and whacking my arms around.
Because there was this kid
and trying to swallow my tongue.
Oh no!
Seizing.
That's bad.
When I used to,
I think that's my impression of seizing. I don't want anybody to get a wrong idea.
Or was it your body trying to wake itself? Because when I was in high school, when I used to sleep on my desk, I used to feel my body jerk myself to wake.
My wife does that.
I do that every once in a while.
I hate it when she does
it's
that.
usually I'm falling off a building or something.
Oh my God!
But I'll feel like
it's all nightmares over here.
I physically move.
Yeah.
But then I wake up and I'm like, did I physically jerk?
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. Andrea does
so is
that.
it that?
She kicks her legs as you
or you're
cut it out
or
knock it off.
Can't control it.
I don't care when I'm sitting there trying to go to sleep too. And she's there with a kang, kang, and I'm like, hey.
So what did your old girlfriend say you were the stranger?
I think she wanted me to die. And I went to the doctor and I told the doctor and he told me, it's fine. You're just, it's no big deal, whatever. They did some tests.
What did she say you were doing, though?
She said I was whacking my arms around. And
did she try and wake you up?
Yeah, she said she couldn't wake me up.
A night terror?
Might have been.
Because people have night terrors where they're
you usually can get woken up from those.
Yeah.
The ones that are the worst are the ones where people say I woke up and I could see everything around me, but I just couldn't move and I was paralyzed.
Yeah, sleep paralysis.
I don't want that. Because then people are touching you and you can't do anything about it. They're putting a needle in your eyeball.
That happens to my wife, or used to all the time when she was in her 20s. And it happened to her at school when she was sleeping. We both weren't very good at school.
Great students.
And her eyes were open, and then her teacher was like, "Crystal, get out of!" She could see the teacher talking to her, and she had paralysis. She said it was a demon.
Yeah.
That's what she used to think, and I was like, crazy.
Wait a minute, your wife has a demon too? I got the demon.
Yeah. Well, she's
Sleep demon.
It used to be like her being possessed.
So when did your wife stop like just ignoring everyone around her? Like,
my wife is tortured.
Wait a minute. So she was like, what? Had her head on her hands, right? But her eyes open. She couldn't move.
And then she was
just staring at the teacher?
She was staring at the teacher
Hey, Christopher!
Sleep paralysis. And then it used to have, like, by the way, I'm the worst husband to be married to if you want someone to be concerned about you, because I am never concerned about anything Crystal tells me. Like, I never think it's serious. She used to tell me, like, I get paralyzed in my sleep. And
I was scared for your wife at the AT&T when she was trying to hang something up on the wall, and she like kind of wobbled a little. I'm like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Oh, sometimes I get crazy, like vertigo." And I'm like,
"Sometimes I get crazy and I kill all my friends." Don't get on the
ladder, then I'll hang it up.
I'm never concerned. I'm like, and she would tell me she gets sleep paralysis or whatever. And I'm like, the vertigo, all the stuff she has.
But what's the vig?
Yeah. She's like, my head and my lumps,
my head, my lumps, my backside, and my bumps.
And I'm just like, it's fine. You're freaking yourself out.
Yeah, all right. Let's keep going. Let's power through. Yeah,
so
we got a nice email roll. Tom at TomandDan.com. Dream Analysis Tuesdays.
Hey, old man baseball. Welcome to the baseball club.
Oh, that's me.
No matter how late in life, being born and raised here in Florida, playing ball, an 80s kid, and a diehard Braves fan, baseball has been an important part of my life for me. I know you love your tech, but be careful asking for robots to take over umpiring. This will make the game boring. The human element of it is what makes it exciting. Without the disagreements, missed calls, managers yelling, and benches clearing, it would take the fun out of it. If there's no human emotion in the game, then why watch it? This goes for all sports. Let the machines take over and it just becomes a mundane thing such as surfing the web or watching someone else's videos on social media. I guess I can see that.
I mean, I don't think VAR, though, has made soccer or even when they review a play in football, I don't see where it's like ruined the game. The game's still the game.
Yeah, I don't like when referees or subjectivity
become the game.
Yeah, because then it's like, well, the best team didn't win. A referee made a mistake.
Yeah.
And a human error caused the team to win. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
That means to me nothing matters and it's all a luck.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
That's why I don't like playoffs. I mean, like there's nothing less American than everybody gets put into a pool. You're not even the best team, and just based on a bad day or luck or travel time, you end up failing.
Well,
that's not fair. The team that has won the most is the best team, and that's the way it should be.
The 7-game series is better than like the NFL one and done type of playoffs, right?
I agree.
At least
it gives you a better representation. Yeah.
It's like
I agree.
If out of 7 games, you win the most,
one
you're
and
probably
done is
better.
not fair, especially in football, because it
makes it exciting.
Well, it does make it exciting. I'm not going to say it's not exciting, but being exciting and being fair.
Yeah. Well, I don't know any true NFL fan or analyst that believes that like the Rams and the Bengals were the best 2 teams in the NFL.
They were not.
In fact, most people say they weren't the best 2 teams, and just they happened to get into the Super Bowl.
Not that that's what we're talking about, but yeah, I just
through some unlikely events that had to do with luck. And so, but I guess that's the name of the game when it comes to like the American football.
I do understand what he's saying. I like a hybrid method, and maybe I didn't do a good job of like explaining this, but this is what I would like to see for all sports. I think it ends with the computers, right? Like you can't lie against the camera, you can't lie against the infrared. It's picking up the speed
instant
of the ball,
replay.
whatever, instant replay. They'll be able to do that. Yeah, there should be referees on the field to handle the game and stuff like that. But if you have any calls that really do need to be scrutinized in order to speed them up, go to the tape and speed it up.
I think it's stupid that we do the one referee looks at the box with the thing, and they put their head under there waiting for this guy. Just like have a team in New York, and they're starting to do this.
Yeah, but they do it in MLS. They're starting to do it in the NFL, especially.
Having a team in New York, a bunch of people that have access to all the equipment, and they can see the instant.
They're already drilling it down,
and have them make the call. Like as soon as the play happens, they're like, "Oh, we should look at that." The team looks at it and calls back and they're like, "Oh, it's confirmed."
I think the NFL does a good job of that, actually. Like,
but they still do the pomp and circumstance of the guy walking over. He puts the thing over his head, so he looks.
I wonder if they have to do that, just almost like beating dumb people over the head with what we're doing.
Probably, yeah.
You know, like because like I like in a time when the NFL does so much bad, I think out of a lot of sports, they are pretty quick. They on their reviewed plays. You know who's not good is the MLS. There have been times when Sam and I are watching Orlando City, and the guy he does the little finger thing for VAR, and then he goes over there, and we wait for 4 minutes, 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's stupid.
I'm already ready to turn the game off now. You already lost my interest.
And maybe MLS doesn't have the money, and the NFL does.
They do.
So it's like maybe they just throw more money at it. But
I just like the hybrid model. Keep the referees even in baseball. But if there's a question, or if, because the subjectivity of certain umpires with their strike zone versus other guys, I get that's all part of it. And then when you're going up against this particular referee, he's good to batters. Or this particular referee, he's pretty kind to the pitchers. He gives them the corners. I get all of that. I don't know. I think even the players would say, we just want it to be ultimately, at the bottom line, is super fair. Just keep it super fair.
And there is subjectivity even in the NFL. Like they'll decide whether they're going to be tough on holding. And they'll establish if this is going to be we're going to make calls a lot and we want you to stop doing it, or we're going to be loose, because essentially I think almost every single play someone's holding. Right, I think it is.
Yeah. Right.
And you could call it, and it's it's kind of a hold. You could be harsh and call that, and then you soon knock it out of the game, or you leave it open and let them play. And then in the Super Bowl, they usually call less holding calls, so the pace of the game is more exciting. That's what I kind of don't like either. It's that kind of a referee controlling the narrative of this game.
Well, that I think it was Austin FC versus Orlando City match that I was watching, and I was getting mad about it. That referee, he lost control of the entire game, which I've seen before, and then he made himself part of the game. He was controlling it. He's like, I'm going to give you a red card. You shouldn't have gotten one. I'm going to give you another red card. You shouldn't have gotten one. I'm going to call this a corner kick. It's wrong. The linesman was wrong. It was all wrong. And nobody was reviewing it. Yeah, and there's no recourse for Orlando City. And we're talking about a league where one game could literally make the difference of you being in the playoffs. It's stupid.
That is stupid.
It's just stupid. The MLS is, at times, a joke.
I wonder, they couldn't, you never see them take a referee out of the game, and I wonder if they think, the perception of doing that would
ruin everything.
Would make everybody want to take every referee out, right?
Yeah, you can't do that. It would set a precedent, I bet.
So, because you think if someone, they eject people, that are starting too many fights, or, behavior reasons, coaches, they'll kick them out of the game for technical. You should be able to kick a referee, or the organization be this referee, replace him because he's off, right? Or he's having a bad day.
In this particular game I'm talking about, nobody really seemed to be I thought it was going to get more heat in the news. I thought on MLS.com it was going to get some heat. I don't believe that Major League Soccer enjoys having a team in Orlando. I don't think they ever have. I don't know why. I don't know what the bad blood there is, but I've always gotten the feeling that they don't like Orlando City because they never really give it the amount of shine that they give other teams. Miami, Inter Miami, they get a lot of good heat. This new Austin team, they're getting a lot of good press. We seem to always be some sort of weird red-haired stepchild of the MLS. And I think in this particular game, Schlegel, I think that was the gentleman that got the red card. I think it was a handball or something. The call was wrong. And they never even went back to it. And then the domino effect of just everything being terrible. And the guy had completely lost control of the match. I mean, we've seen this before. And he couldn't regain control. The players were all yelling at him or running all around. Nobody said anything about it. It's a joke.
What are MLS referees? I think we interviewed one time.
What is it called? What's their name? Pro?
Are they making
something Pro is the name of their particular refereeing company.
Are they just getting paid per game, or are they on salary like the NFL? I think
they're salaried.
Are we talking about $60,000?
Yeah, professional referee organization.
And what's the average salary of an MLS referee? What would you guess?
Salaries of MLS referees range from $10,237 to $200,889.
Yeah, if you're making $300K.
With the middle being about 36 grand ish.
Yikes.
Well,
that's not that much, dude.
Who's the one making $236,000?
Is that Ted Uncle? Remember that guy? Uncle Ted, we used to call him?
Yeah.
I think he retired.
But it's like, that's a huge spectrum of money.
Yeah.
It really is. My God. I don't. Okay, hold
based on the amount.
Let me preface my comments. If this referee that I'm talking about, I'm getting all the details wrong. I apologize. I was watching it. But, like, if that guy was making $10,000, then he did a good job.
Well, a year. But how many games? They must be paid per
fine.
game or something. That's why, like, the 200-something thousand is some, like, ref that's busting his ass doing a lot of games, right?
I mean, I think it kind of starts with that, right? Like, if you want to be a league that's going to be heralded like, La Liga, like, EPL, anything.
Or taking seriously.
It starts with the framework, right? Just like an automobile or a building. And the framework are the rules of the game. So who is more important before you even get teams? You have to have really good rules, right? And guys that will enforce the rules. And if you don't have that, what do you have?
Is the MLS, they're getting a lot of these refs from, like, around the world, right?
No, a lot of them are homegrown, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. We don't know. Yeah.
But where are you going to ref if you're really good? You going to go to South America or Europe? Yeah, you ain't going to the U.S.
Yeah, but
why would you?
But then you would think the people underneath the best are still better than the Americans, and we should get those, right? It's like you go where the sport's the most popular because those refs have been refereeing since they were 2.
But I still think there's so many people in front of us. Like if you look at, EPL would be top tier. And then under that, you have Bundesliga, Germany. And then under that would be like Serie A. And then under that, La Liga.
So
and then
all the refs are getting through.
Swedish league, Turkish leagues. I mean, there's so many leagues ahead of MLS. There's probably 35 leagues. Asia, And
no one really grows up to want to be a ref. So it's probably a smaller sample set of even people to choose from, right?
Yeah, that's something very interesting.
I've never met one person that wanted to be a referee growing up.
No.
The Wizards' dad was a college football referee.
Is he still around?
No, he passed away this past year. But
that's really cool.
He refereed high school football and then did some college games and was in that referee world.
That's cool.
But I think it was the Wizards, Asperger's-y. So I think his dad, he's followed the rule. They're very analytical.
It sticks in my brain. But Eric Ness of Real World fame. Mm-hmm. I remember his father was an NBA referee and came to visit him on the show.
It is a cool job.
It is a cool job.
It's interesting.
I'd be fixing games like a mug, though, man. Oh, man, if I were an NBA referee, I would be fixing all of them.
Hard to do, really.
Bill Burr was on baseball last night. I was watching baseball, and he was at the game, one of the baseball games, the Boston game.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, on MLB Network, he was talking about how he thinks the NBA is low-key fixed. And I thought that was, awesome shade.
You can't get enough money down.
I just thought it was funny that he was saying that on a rival sports network. It was pretty ballsy, I thought. And they just let it fly. And he talked about how he thinks it's all scams.
It doesn't really make sense to even do it because there's not enough money you could bet to make it worth it being fixed.
Right. You're not going to be allowed to do that.
People don't understand the gambling industry is you can't bet that much money on a game to even make it worth paying off the player or the referee or any of this.
Also, Bill Burr did the thing that a lot of comedians do to us when they were on our couch, and I laughed out loud when he did it. He's sitting with the 2 announcers for this game. It was in Boston, and they did one segment with him that was 12 minutes, and he's doing he's talking about his special that's coming up. He's going to be the first comedian to do a live special taping from Wrigley Field.
Really?
Or is it Fenway? I think it's Wrigley. I don't know. I'm getting it mixed up, but I thought it was really, really cool. He's going to stand on the mound, I think, when he does his stand-up. And he did the thing where they were like, well, we got to take a break. And he's like, I was on traffic all the way when I drove down here. That's it? That's all I get? I was in traffic. Oh, I had to fight traffic to get down. And he did the thing, let me stay. And they did not. They were like, we're out of here. Get out of here, Bill Burr.
Well, you got an A-list celebrity on the couch.
Get the hell out of here.
What are you?
I laughed and I laughed. They kicked him out. They were like, well, it doesn't matter, Bill Burr. I don't care who you are.
Time is more important than the entertainment. What are you talking about? That is the most important. The quality entertainment.
They kicked him out of there.
Why does the time matter?
It was
we're going to go. Bye-bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
Our buddy Mark Villain's here. How you doing, Mark?
What's up, guys? Doing.
I've been talking to Mark recently, and he's been showing me all the progress on the new Villain clothing store.
Does it seem excruciatingly difficult to you? Because it does to me. The build-out looks very difficult, and he seemingly handles it. Look at the smile.
I know, yeah.
He's happy, he's upbeat and positive.
There's no AC in the building at all right now. So.
Hey, we're familiar.
We know that problem. Ours is more from not paying the bills.
But I figured we'd do a Weird Job Wednesday with Mark because being the owner of an apparel brand or an apparel company is weird to me, and it's something that a lot of people want to do.
I think a lot of people say it, especially podcasters. Not us, but a lot of podcasters will release one T-shirt, and then they'll be like, we have a clothing brand now.
Yeah, okay.
And that's not that's not what Mark's doing. He's like engineering the clothing from the ground up.
And when I first talked to you guys, I kind of compared it to podcasting, where it's like everyone has one, but not really.
Right, right, exactly.
Well, they have one, but are they making money doing it? Are they making a living doing it? Is it a legitimate company with employees, or is it a hobby? There's a spectrum of success there.
Yeah, we do a lot of manufacturing for other people, and it's that balance of when people want something made, and they'll come talk to us, and they have this great idea. And you just gotta try to reasonable.
You were talking about the White Claw tube koozie, right? I was feeling a little bit of a White Claw tube koozie carrier scenario there.
So, from what I know and I've seen, it's like my buddies, and they'll get mad if they hear this. Like a while back when they were, like, I feel like in their late 20s, early 30s, when everybody wanted to own their own
I know
small
what
business.
You're gonna say.
They started their quote-unquote apparel.
305.
They basically was just they printed T-shirts and they sold them with their own art.
Yes,
and then,
or one concept.
Yeah. And then they start wearing them. Then you're like, I'll support Joe. Right. I'll buy his shirt. So I buy one. We're all wearing it, right? And they're like, look how much money we made up.
We made $70.
Yeah, $70 profit. And then so they're like, this will never end. But then they put out their next one. And you're like, I bought one.
50 more shirts.
I bought one already. I'll buy, I'll wait a little while to buy the next one. Then it falls apart. Then everyone starts arguing. And then they wear the shirt. And then you see a small resurgence of it where it's like, we're back again. I'm like, they're doing it again.
I'll get one.
And then I'm like, I'm going to pretend like I didn't see it, so I don't have to buy another one.
Exactly. I mean, how many of those could you have?
Yeah. And it just seems like an insanely hard business to run. And when you started Villain, Mark, I know we've talked to you a bit about this, but did you start in a similar fashion where you started just selling to friends and family and that kind of thing?
Yeah, actually, I started making bamboo wine holders and wood products, and I made shirts for that, and just kind of like steamrolled into then friends and family, and then I went straight to clothing, and then clothing just kind of kept going, and I went to school and trying to decide what I really wanted to do, and then it kind of just steamrolled to where we're at now, like kind of fast. Like it doesn't seem like. But there was a lot of hard
trials
slow
and
months.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
You ever get anybody that's like, you know what? These hats and the board shirts are cool, but I really wanted a bamboo wine holder.
All the time.
Yeah, because I figured that.
It's like I feel like the business is kind of random in the fact that you could have a good brand, and Villain does, but I bet a lot of other people have had good, like if you want to call it beach lifestyle or beach brand or surf
like
brand.
Whatever happened to hot tuna.
Or skate brand.
Or gotcha.
Or you just add life to one side or salt somewhere.
Yes.
But I feel like there's been a lot of those, and then the ones that take off and the ones that don't, there's really no real rhyme or reason behind it. It's like everything's at the right time. I thought it was all good. I was calling all your life's work look.
So everything you've done is basically just a dice roll, and hey, good for you, right?
Yeah. I was calling all your hard work look.
Well, I wasn't thinking of us. When people come with the idea, sometimes you're just like, like you don't know where to tell them not. They're like, I want 1,000 of these, and we're like, no, start with 100, and then we'll make more from there.
Right. Oh, when people come to you with their own,
that's what I thought
their own business. I'm talking about like, what do you think it was with Villain's brand that caused you guys to be so popular so fast? Because it seemed like you said, it hit and everybody wanted to buy it. And it's like I don't know how big your following was before, but it seems like people just saw it and instantly wanted
like very
to.
Community based, really.
Oh, I run in Satellite. Every other person has a Villain piece of clothing on, or a Villain sticker on their golf cart.
In that area, it seems like you did a very good job of getting to know your regulars.
Well, we started before social media, so it was like putting flyers on car windows, stapling them to the boardwalks, and so it started a long time of like growing the roots, and then now it's easy. Like now. Instagram, you post. We're gonna be here. Whenever people show up,
it is easier to do it that way for sure.
So you had to grow at grassroots first, and then now you have a base of people that know your brand. Still, though, how much of like releasing a new brand or new style or new, because you constantly do it all the time, and we've talked before off air just about like you do a great job with the quantities and releasing stuff and it's selling out, and then releasing a new style and logo and things like that. But do you know right off the bat, like, once it's designed, like, this is going to sell based on what you know about your
Has there ever been anything
customer?
that you're like, it's going to be a home run, and you're like, you release it and...
Sometimes my favorite stuff is not the most popular, but sometimes like when it's like ready to go and you see it, you're like, this is it.
Is your business fluid in the idea that, like, let's say coffee, I mean, obviously that's a big part of what you guys do, and that brand has, I think, been coming up. If that seemingly starts overtaking other parts of it, would you just go with that, or like?
Well, they kind of help each other. It's like it's a good balance, because we're also going to do like beer and wine and stuff like that at the new shop. So it's going to be kind of not a bar, but a place you can go get drinks, you can get coffee. We'll have all our clothes, just kind of surfboards, skateboards, all that stuff.
See, I feel like, most of the time I'm screaming, why are you building a store? Or why does the store still exist? Everything's bought online. What the hell?
Yeah, you have been screaming that a lot.
But I feel like because when you first told me you were opening up like a store, my first thought was, why are you doing that? Because everything's bought online now. Like, you're going backwards.
You yell at me about that. Like, I still have cable, stuff like that. I'm the old man. Like, I still have cable. I like to watch live sporting events.
But as I started to look at it, and then I'm watching the build out, and I'm seeing the inside, and I'm like, well, this is more than just like a place where people can come buy the Villain clothing. Like, this is like your headquarters. This is a destination.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a beachside destination for people to go and shop, and because the you're building the inside out super, like, it's nice as hell, basically. Like, everything's custom, everything looks great.
Do you have to kind of do that now, because so much of what people buy is, very quick on the internet? Is it smart from a business aspect for you guys to super serve the experience?
Yeah, our plan is just to really... The locals are everything for us. Like, that's our bread and butter. So it's a place that they can come hang out, and everything's still available online. But we also have to keep the stuff somewhere. So if we're going to keep it, might as well have it a place where people can come in.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
and I've never thought about the fact that there will be backlash to everything being detached from an experience.
The beachside store, though, I feel like will never die because everybody wants to go into the quintessential beachside store.
And it feels right. When I'm beachside, I don't want a digital experience. I don't want a digital fish sandwich. I want to walk into the wooden place.
Write that down. Digital fish sandwich.
Don't write that down. Don't Google that, for Christ's sake. It'll give you something bad. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, when I'm at the beach, I'm wired differently. I'm like, I want to talk to people. I want to see the person behind. I don't want to tap the screen to order my food. I want to, like, have a discourse.
You're out
in
nature. You want everything tangible, like
sunshine.
in person.
I want some rain. I want some wind.
So,
and every inch of the store we're making, everything's handmade, and a lot. Like, we want to make it like visually overstimulating. So when you walk in, there's a lot to look at.
Yeah,
and we want it that way.
You've been it's sending me little bits and pieces here of just crazy artwork, and how difficult is it to find that much stuff? And how do you know when enough is enough? Like, how do you know when it's done?
I don't know.
Right, I know. Like, I'm the worst about that. Like, he'll have to stop me, and he's like, okay, you stop hammering on that. You're done. You're done.
Our opening's coming up. It's just, go.
You're done. What are you doing? And I'm over there, like, messing with a curtain.
Yeah. Like, we got to rent it now. We're already 2 months behind. So when is, have you said, Mark, it seems like you're so laid back.
Put pressure on him, like, when's it open?
I want more pressure on you. You're enjoying life too much, and I'm making me mad.
Happy.
You do look awfully
too
laid
happy,
back
too
for
successful.
a guy doing a massive build out of your entire brand. A little too laid back.
Because I'd be ultimate stress. I'd be pulling my hair out, sweating.
Oh, we know. You're yelling at. You're like, I gotta go back there. The Ring doorbell's batteries are out again.
Have you checked that lately?
Yeah, no,
it's been out for weeks. Been out for weeks.
So have you set a timeline?
We have no date.
Okay.
Because
that's what you should do, right? Why do I do this to myself? I'm like, this is the date.
There's so many deadlines with you.
Because I feel like that's what other businessmen do.
We miss every deadline.
Like, I see other businessmen, they're stressed out, like they fall on their swords. Like,
He'll go, Airbnb, we have to build it out in 5 days. Get to work, Rick Scott.
You set a goal, and then you have to work insanely hard to hit that goal's ultimate stress.
Well, he's still hitting his goal. He just doesn't know when the goal ends.
I know.
Which is great.
Well, maybe that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, right. Because I do know once it opens, the fun part will kind of be, even though it's miserable and hot and a lot of work, but once it opens, then it's back to real work again. And so now it's just go in every day and start building stuff.
Well, then you're in there, and then you're like, "Where's the people?" You're like, get out there with the sign, and then you
make the coffee, steam the milk.
You get your local homeless beach bum out there. With the
they're
sign.
better though. Homeless beachside to me they're usually nicer.
And then you're like, "Where's Greg? Oh, he stole the sign again."
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh no. Well, you don't want to know what he did to the sign.
So tell us about your founders program, because
wait a minute, we have a founders program. Hold on a second.
Well, let's talk about that.
You got a copyright lawyer?
Mark did reach out, and he's like, hey, I'm going to make this up because I think this happened, but I'm not 100%.
Wait,
I think
right here. He's right here.
No, but
you're going to make up a memory in front of the person that you're remembering about?
Well, I am admitting it that I'm...
So you're going to lie to his face, is what you're
admitting to everybody.
And you're hoping he's going to go along with it?
I'm making this memory up, but I think you asked me, and you're like, hey, you mind if I do the founder?
I know he asked me.
I said that to both. Yeah, I felt like that was a fair one.
You could have just asked me.
What if one of them would have said no?
We don't check, we don't look at the top to see if it's a group text message. We just say anything wildly. Everything. Well, who is this?
That's a dumb old man. I did that the other day. Sam had to tell me. I was like, God! I'm like, so hungover, my eyes are blurred. I can't see.
You did say that. Now I know what you're referencing, because you did say that. I'm so sorry. I had all my glasses. I'm hungover.
So you asked us about if we could do... By the way, which you didn't need to. You could have done it.
It's not a genius idea.
I would have seen it and then been like, we should do that. Because I forgot we already did.
Me too.
So tell me about your founders program.
So we launched it the beginning of this month, and we're going to go all the way to July 1st is when the cutoff is. We're doing $350 a couple, or like a family, or $250 for the single person, and then you get private grand opening and then a private party every single year from then on out. And it's not paid for every year. You pay one time and it's done.
One and done.
You get a discount forever in the store. Private release, we throw your photo on the wall. Kind of took a lot of the things you guys did.
It's a smart idea, man.
Sounds better.
Yeah, because you're getting to go into an awesome beachside villain store, and then you're like, that's my
forever discount.
Yeah, most of our founders, they gave them once, but
they're real mad we haven't done any events in a couple years.
The world got shut down. There's that.
So,
we still technically invited them to parties. It's not our fault they can't come because little baby get corona.
So, Mark, I know you've invited me to go surfing multiple times, but I recently was at Satellite Beach and I tried boogie boarding. And it was right after, I'm sure you were surfing, right after that.
And you saw him out there
tropical storm came through.
Surf.
Oh, yeah, we had a fun little stretch, yeah.
It was that Sunday after.
Call it a sesh. They love that. A fun little surf sesh.
So me and my buddy, the Wizard, were out there, and in our minds, we were going to show off to our kids that we could go out there.
Long-haired comic book.
Confederate flag boogie board.
Yeah, we had
the eastbound and down.
Yeah. So body glove.
Doc Brown out there. Long gray hair. Looks like you're boogie boarding with God.
Doc Brown ate some cheeseburger. We go out and it seemed like I was trying to duck dive the waves with, and I was trying to jump over them, and I winded myself 25 minutes in, and I turned around and I've gone 10 feet, and I tried to catch a little wave and nose dove into
blew the leash off your wrist.
So shallow, and huffing and puffing the entire time. My family stopped watching me, and I did think to myself, if I went out and was surfing with
you gonna start surfing, bro?
No, I'd embarrass myself and I think my surfing days are done or something. Like,
we didn't even start them yet.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I missed the window. Like,
your surf window.
Yeah. Like, I needed to learn in my 20s.
Is he too old to learn how to surf?
No. Too old and
there's like 70-year-old guys out there.
Yeah, but they've been surfing their whole. See, that's the thing. Like, they're 70.
And they never lose it. Like, a guy's been surfing since like he was 5.
That's the thing. Yeah, and they've surfed every.
And they make
week.
it look easy. They're like walking to the front and they're walking to the back, and then they're just kind of just cruising on a wave.
In fact, I'm mad they're not better than they are.
Right.
They should be doing more than the young guys. They've been surfing for so long.
And they're all fudgy.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, starting now seems like an impossible task. Then my buddy the Wizard was like, I'm going to learn by the end of the summer, and I literally bet him $1,000.
Really?
He'll never, like, surf.
How long does he have to stay standing up on the board?
I said 10 Mississippi's.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I could get him to it.
Our waves,
10 Mississippi's.
I don't even think our waves last 10 Mississippi.
Yeah, that might be pushing it, but
but that is about the amount of time that would tell me that you could at least get it together.
He'll never go 10
It takes some talent to do 10 Mississippi's, right? And like
we don't have enough wave.
It ain't gonna last.
On the right day, if you go out there and
6 Mississippi's top.
Yeah, 5 to 6, we can do it.
I'm talking I start the counter as soon as you push up off the board, like
pushing up off the boards. I don't even know if he can do that. I'd have to see how fast he pops up.
As soon as the board starts being propelled by the ocean, I start
nose
the counter
down, right off the board.
I'm just saying, he'll never do it. Why are people convinced? It's because surfers don't know how to do it and make it look so easy.
They do make it look so easy. The guys that I'm most impressed with now, and it's in my algorithm, you guys might even see this on your TikToks. There's I follow all these professional skimboarders. And I love the dude.
I like when they run and they get on and sideways and then
they go towards the wave and then they instantly go up the face of the wave and then they're back down there riding. And I'm like, oh my God, you're a magical human being.
That's the most painful thing in the world, skimboard.
It's crazy.
If you fall there, you just stick. It's hard sand.
But these guys,
and the board is just gut you.
And this one guy, he's blonde, he's got dreadlocks. I forget the guy's name.
Austin Keene.
Yeah, and he's like, and I see him do a lot of videos out of Mexico. Like, he's always in Mexico. And he'll come down.
He's running full speed.
Oh, it's amazing.
He transitions, and he's sideways on the board.
Then he's barreled.
Smooth. Like, he's like, yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm like, how far you went?
To me, it's like surfing on acid, because I'm like, well, you can do that anywhere. It looks hella dangerous. Like you said, you just nosedive and you smash. I always think about him going up the face of the wave, and then it just like, if it's choppy or nasty, it just slams him straight down on the sand, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, what is he, in a foot of water?
Yeah, it's shallow.
It's really shallow, and this guy's a tall dude. He's looks like 6 foot or something. You know, he's not a little guy like me.
I saw some video on TikTok of one of these skimboarders, because they show a lot of the successes, but this was a fail.
Oh, I want to see the fails.
And this guy got rocketed, like the wave broke, but it was literally on the shore. Like, I don't know what break this was, but it was like seemingly 6 to 7 to 8 foot tall, but breaking on the sand.
Oh yeah,
and
bad.
He got launched up, and like you see him do like a.
Well, they do that move where all the water gets sucked back into the wave, so it's just sand, and then you're on the crest of the wave.
And I'm like, this guy fell from like 8 feet onto his head onto like just the sand. He was fine, but I was like, that has to hurt a lot.
Start with surfing.
Yeah, surfing's a little bit easier. What else have you guys been doing? You been traveling much?
Not right now, just because of the shop. So we're trying to get that open so we can get back on the road.
Because normally he's out in like Colorado and then like Montana area, and you've been out there. Like that's where anybody that's successful is right now.
No, yeah, they go out to the west.
Yeah, they out to the west.
Right now it's 70 degrees.
Yeah, it's 70 degrees in here.
Oh, the air turned off again.
It's getting hot again.
It was cool for a second.
It blew
10
on
Mississippis.
Me. Yeah. Oh, no, not even. I think it was 6 Mississippis.
If you can do anything for 10 Mississippis, I'm impressed.
That's the thing. I can't do
You
much.
balance a baseball bat on your finger or whatever. 10 Mississippis
I can't do much for 10 Mississippis. I'm not a 10 Mississippi guy.
So, Mark, how can people sign up to become a Villain founder?
If you go to any of our social media, the link's there, or it's just under the website, just villainfl.com. It's right on the headline, or the header there.
Yeah, the little dynamic lead.
And the store, and a lot of people, like, I've seen the Villain coffee truck. It's right there in Goombay's parking lot, in Satellite Beach.
Too.
And right next door is where the Villain store is going to be.
Yeah, where the coffee truck is now, the building directly behind it is the new shop.
I see it come along because now my buddy lives down there, so I'm down in Satellite a lot, and then I'm like, he's been putting more work into it.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, congratulations on it, man. We're glad it's getting closer and closer. And congrats on the Founders Program. That's awesome.
Thanks to you guys.
We should mention we got a co-branded Tom and Dan Villain shirt and hat. Daniel's wearing it right now.
And coffee.
And coffee, too.
Ooh, coffee.
So that's going to be out on our website. By the time you're hearing this, it'll be at tomanddan.com. But it's a limited run, so make sure to order it before it gets sold out, because it will.
And these hats, this style of hat is my favorite hat that you guys make, because this one, and I don't know if it's supposed to be, but are these supposed to be waterproof?
Yeah. Water resistant, so when you sweat, they're not all...
Yeah, I have a blue one, the teal one that I wear in here that has like a Villain shrimp on it or something. I don't know, it's my favorite hat. I look at it and then my wife's like, your shrimp hat. And I'm like, are you calling me short? But it's a great hat. Like, this is one of my favorite hats of all. It's like a, what do you call it, like a golfer style with the little braided rope.
Yep.
Kind of a vibe. It's wicks the sweat away. Great hat.
If I'm walking down the beach and I give you a hang 10 sign, Mark,
what's a hang 10
you'll know
sign? What is the hang 10?
There's like it was on the hat. It's the pinky and thumb out.
It's the telephone.
Let me see you do it.
And then you waggle it a little bit.
Let me see you waggle.
I feel like
Let me see you do it.
Let me see you waggle.
You did it.
A true surfer can waggle it.
You did it, and you were afraid.
Yeah, because I don't know
you do it, and you put it down.
It's too fast. My waggle's too fast.
He did. He made the gesture with his hand, and then you shamed him.
Yeah. I gotta have a looser
waggle.
Yeah, loose waggle.
You're
too stressed out business waggle.
This is too tight. Why are you holding it so tight?
Because I'm forcing my fingers.
He's got hand problems, and you know that.
If you got hand problems, I feel bad for you, son. You got a tight waggle, and that's not how it's done.
My fist is too tight. My waggle's too fast. Anyway,
fast waggling, tight fist.
Mark, we gotta get out of here. It's so hot.
I'm delirious with the heat. I'm having a heat stroke.
All right, we'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
Try this one.
Hey guys, I just wanted to check in about that massage therapist, Deshaun Watson thing. My wife is a massage therapist, and that 100% does not fly. She has had...
Well, we know it doesn't fly. Did you think did you honestly...
What did you hear us say?
We didn't say, these massage therapists, they got it all wrong. Deshaun, free him. Free Deshaun.
I thought it flies.
It totally flies. Checks out. Nobody said that.
Yeah.
And try to get handsy and say stuff like that, and she just straight blacklists them from the establishment, and they're never allowed in.
Yes.
And certainly never allowed on her.
Because they're sexual predators.
Yeah,
if you touch someone without their approval,
What were you listening to?
I think you guys did make a joke about, like, if you're going to that many massages, what do you think he's doing or something? I don't know. I'm not sure. We talk so much about it, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Who knows what we said?
And we're talking massages, so I'm automatically getting too hot.
And maybe I don't know.
It's like a sauna in here.
It's just the vast number of what
it's too much.
It's like it doesn't even matter if like everything is blown out of proportion. It's just there so many. You obviously have some sort of addiction or a problem or predator. There's some problem.
There's a problem.
I don't know anybody that says no problem there.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah, definitely a problem. Let's try. Oh, you got an email? Let's try email. Yeah, let's do an email.
Act Little Lazy. Hey guys, I was just listening to an ACT and had to pause it to say Dan is spot on with the metalheads. I worked overnight for a year at Lowe's Stocking, and we had a guy who blasted death metal and wizard metal on the speaker. Instead of the Oakley shoes Dan said, he wore black combat boots and all the skull rings, shaved sides on his head with a braided ponytail.
Yeah, they love that look. They'll die with that look. And you know what? I support that. Because they know what they like, and they're true to it. I support that. Like, a lot of these guys are like, they wear the leather bracers, black combat boots. They live in Florida, for Christ's sake. It's 105 degrees today. They've got black combat boots on, a pocket full of World of Warcraft cards, and so
long hair. That's hot too.
Dripping with rings they bought at the flea market, just skulls and fake ruby eyeballs. And
everything they're wearing is hot. Like, imagine a bunch of metal rings heating in the sun.
You're dressed like a Winnebago Viking.
You have black nail polish on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even know if that's a metalhead's.
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, I do agree with Daniel. I like the fact that you stick to it through your entire life and that you go into your 60s.
Yeah, I love it.
You are in your core.
Like, we have some listeners. I mean, our buddy Adam, who's in the BDM group, I mean, that guy is as metal as it gets, and I don't think I've ever seen that guy not wearing a black T-shirt and black jeans and boots, you know? He's just that guy.
Some people do transition and like
Chatman transition.
Yeah, where you transition to.
Then you usually go businessman, and then But then you always have a couple of little like regretful. Yeah, you always like, I'll know you'll be at a pool party, and I'll be like, that guy's a great salesman, and I'll look and I'll see on your ankle you have one Tasmanian devil tattoo, giving the devil horns, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think this guy used to listen to the metal.
Yeah. And then there's like other tells that you have, like where your ears were pierced a bunch of times. Like you can see, you're like, that business dad had a bunch of ear piercings.
Yeah, and he goes through that one phase where he's still dressing business but has long hair. Dude, is that still a thing? Where if you're listening to me right now, think hard, people in your cars. Think of that one person at your place of business that you know should cut their hair. But they're not going to because they love it so much. But they still have to wear like suited tie.
My buddy the Wizard's like this.
It is off-putting to me when you're dressed full suit, but then you have a ponytail. I can't take you seriously. I can't take you seriously.
He was working at the Capitol building or whatever.
He pulled his ponytail back.
He said it was January 6th. It was weird.
He's in the trial right now.
But he had like every once in a while he had to wear a suit and go into work before Corona or whatever.
Yeah,
and he had a full suit. Long
he didn't like tie it up.
Trash hair.
You gotta tie it back.
It was all wispy.
No,
those guys always have disheveled suits and ponytails. They pull their hair back. It looks like the world's most business scientist. I hate it.
Yeah. Is you're holding on to something? He's holding on to. I don't know what he's holding on to.
Yeah,
it's like, why is their hair so long?
But will he give you like some sort of super logical answer? Like, why cut it? It's a waste of time.
No, it's illogical because it's more of a pain in the ass to have long hair, right?
But why? So ask him, why does he have it?
Yeah, I think he's holding on to like his youth, or like that's the only thing left that he can express himself. I don't know. It's bizarre. It's like, or
because I support it if he likes it. I support what he likes, you know. But it is like you don't see many people his age with long hair. Now you see people older than him with long hair because I feel like there's a gap in the middle where you go short hair and you kind of become a short hair man.
Yeah.
I don't want to say a responsible person.
You never go back.
There are long-haired people that are truly responsible. But there's an area of your life where you go short hair, and then you're short hairman, and then you do reach a point where you're like, I'm back to long hair again, don't care.
Well, that's what, when you get to don't care. And
that's
then,
a little more, hair, don't care.
Yeah, a little more Jimmy Buffett-y.
And then you just let it grow out because you don't want to go to the barber. I think a little bit of my buddies like that, but it's long. I mean, it's down to the middle of his back.
Yeah, that's long.
Yeah.
It's long.
Because Ross does that, but he doesn't dress business. That's the thing.
No, Russell's even more novelty, I think, in some ways than me. You know, like crazy socks or a zany shirt or something like that, you know? And he's lost a lot of weight, too.
I could fall into the don't care how I look lifestyle.
You kind of still are.
I'm struggling just to comb my hair.
You used to want your hair long, and your wife used to want your hair long. And what happened with that? Where did that dream go?
Well, I had just to represent my company, and at a sales meetings, I can't look disheveled. No one's gonna take us seriously.
I want to get a face tattoo and shave my head.
That's fine because you're the artist. That I.
Okay, I'm the artist.
Then when I am business meetings, I'm like, yeah, Dan's the artist.
He's just like The Weeknd, but not talented.
He's the talent.
No.
I just I'm the money guy. That's what
Let's do this one. Oh, hold on. That didn't work.
Tom and Dan and Sam. Hey guys, it's Kenny.
That's the one about EJ's cargo van. I'm sorry.
No.
You can't play that one because we've already covered that.
We've discussed it, yeah.
Let's try this one.
Hey gang, it's Zach from Ohio. Every few months or so I get hiccups, and they'll last for like 2 or 3 days and then they'll go away. Did that ever happen to you?
Yeah, I had hiccups one time for like a full week, and I got in my own hypochondriac way. I started thinking I was going to be like one of those kids. There's a girl that was doing the rounds on all of the big late night shows where she had hiccups for like her entire life.
Yeah, it was a long time.
And I don't think it ever went away. In fact, I think she still has it now. And that, to me, there's something terrifying about that.
Yeah, torture.
It would be terrifying knowing that you have this involuntary thing that you can feel at all times and you can't stop it and you'll have it forever. That is just terrifying.
There's some weird explanation for why we even get hiccups. It's like
is it your diaphragm?
Something left over from evolution that didn't like something like
Isn't it
yawning
a spasm of some sort?
Hiccups can happen for a lot of reasons. Some of them are physical and some emotional. That's because the actual irritation happens in the nerve connecting the brain to the diaphragm. Some common causes include eating too much or too quickly, feeling nervous or excited, drinking carbonated beverages or too much alcohol, stress, a sudden change in temperature. I'm about to start hiccuping. It is hot in here.
Yeah, it is very hot.
Swallowing air while sucking on candy or chewing gum.
I can't eat candy without sucking all the air down. I'm a perpetual candy sucker.
What is it your body's doing though? Like that's like I understand the causes.
I guess it's just like a spasm, right?
Yeah.
Is your diaphragm
spasm in your diaphragm?
Okay. And it's
diaphragm. I always thought that was a thing that ladies used, but I guess it is a thing that ladies use.
I don't think they make those anymore.
Oh, they make them, but it's just like an older. It's like it's like
the sponge.
Yeah,
right?
they still make the sponge. It's just you got to be an old granny to use it.
I think they took those off the market years ago.
No, they still got them. All that stuff's still around.
Oh, you can get it.
You can get anything. Yeah, Alibaba got diaphragms. I'm sure of it.
Oh, yeah. Alibaba got everything. Have you ordered? Someone's ordering something from Alibaba a lot.
That's Tony.
Oh, okay.
We got him. Tony ordered a box of Alibaba dildos.
He won't tell us what's in the box.
He won't tell us.
Should we open it?
Tony, if you're going to order dildos, you just got to send them to your house, not our house, because they're.
Yeah, what's in that package?
Oh, you don't want to know.
He didn't tell us. He said it was a personal order.
Yeah.
Oh, then.
Yeah, I put it on the company card. Tom said I could before you get mad. No, he didn't.
It's pretty heavy too. What is in there?
Heavy. It shakes like dildos. Like I've shaken a lot of boxes of dildos. This shakes like a box of dildos.
Yeah, you could tell.
I can tell.
Yeah, you can tell.
This is not my first rodeo.
And they're big too.
Yeah, they're lumpy. They're big and lumpy. Like they're okay. I'm just gonna say it. They're butt plugs. It's got to be. They're flange. I can hear the flange end.
Let's do another voicemail.
All right, let's try this one.
Hey everybody, this is Tim from Ohio. I work in the automotive manufacturing industry and occasionally have to do big long road trips to go put out fires or meet people. So today I'm doing a trip from Ohio to Oklahoma for a meeting I have in the morning, which is as much of a nightmare as it sounds. It's going to end up being about 14 hours in the car. But I have a lot of fun making a thing of it and stopping at roadside attractions and, whatever catches my eye. And what prompted my call is a roadside attraction somewhere in Missouri called Uranus. It's a fudge factory, and their slogan is that the best fudge comes from Uranus. My question is, did you grow up going on road trips? And if you did, what were some of your favorite places to stop, or what were some of your routines or the things that your family did? I'll hang up and listen.
That's a great question. The Dennises were a tried and true south of the border family.
Look at what I wrote down. I wrote down south of the border.
That's why we're in business together.
Yeah.
Our fathers would have been friends. They would have.
Yeah.
They're guaranteed they would have known each other for sure. If they weren't hanging out, they definitely would have known each other. My dad would have been like, "That's the guy that can fix your boat. You take it to him. I guarantee it. Go see Tom. He won't cheat you."
The south of the border was... I'd like to, in my mind, it was an annual trip, but I think we only went once because, we had to drive from Miami.
At least once a year because we were always in Virginia.
Yeah, and it's closer for you, but I remember driving from Miami. It was quite a hike, but you got close to it. There would be signs every mile. They're like...
Tons of them. Buc-ee's is trying to do a little bit of that, too.
Yeah. It's
like, for instance, here, I'll bust a myth. You know the sign that Buc-ee's has that says "risk it for brisket"? Mm-hmm. That's been up way before the pandemic. That's been up for, since Buc-ee's was a thing. They weren't trying to mock the pandemic. That was fake news that somebody got a hold of and tried to make it seem like they were insensitive to a virus killing people. And they were not. They were trying to rip off south of the border with a series of signs leading up to Buc-ee's that say, like, "Come see us." They've got tons of them.
Yeah. It's funny how those things take off, and they're like, "Look at Buc-ee's."
It is. It's also embarrassing.
Take a risk on getting corona for a biscuit. Who gets mad? He was like, first, I thought that they were doing that. Don't care. I don't care about anything. I don't care what anybody does. Do whatever you want.
But hey, Sam tried their brisket. Not bad, right?
It's pretty good.
It's not bad. It's definitely not. Somebody said in the chat room and I think on our BDM page that the pulled pork is better. I'll try it. I haven't had the pulled pork from Buc-ee's. The part that made me sad, though, is they do make everybody that cuts the brisket and the pulled pork wear a Toby Keith straw hat. I guess to add to the idea that you're having a true cowboy pull the pork or cut the brisket. I've never understood that. I don't care who's cutting it. You can look like a spaceman for all I care.
I wonder what was the catalyst to change the law where you can sell fireworks in Florida, because when I grew up, and Daniel too, and it must have been a long... you
had to go out of state.
Yeah, to only buy the mortars and the rockets and the good stuff, you had to go...
Well, for firecrackers. You couldn't even get firecrackers, and all I wanted was firecrackers.
You had to go to Georgia to buy it. That's why the south of the border got so big. It was like, we'll sell fireworks right across and then bring them back to Florida.
Yep.
And it's weird.
My dad and his buddy got a box truck. They went up there and they loaded it full of, quote, illegal fireworks, and then came back and sold it to all their friends.
Just different in different states.
No, but it's like in the 70s and 80s where everything was dangerous. Everything else was dead. People were riding three-wheelers. You could ride a three-wheeler. It's not like Florida was some fancy state and Georgia was like the hillbilly state that sold fireworks. Florida's a hillbilly state.
It's just outdated stuff, just like you can't drink on Sundays in certain counties. It's weird.
It is weird.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. And then they changed it and never went back. And then it's like, fine. Didn't even need this rule or whatever.
It didn't seem like a thing. By the time I was of age to buy fireworks, you could buy them anyway.
Although there was a small period of time where you could only buy them near the beach. There was big brick and mortar firework places that were year round, but they were always near the beach. Like in Miami,
this Fudge Factory looks great. By the way,
I
want to check it out.
At my butt.
I never thought about going to Missouri, but maybe I will now.
I'm not going to Missouri just for Fudge Factory.
I'll find other stuff to do.
It's obviously the novelty.
Clever Cletus's Hillbilly Novelties.
That's wow.
They have a hillbilly nut scratcher, hillbilly shot glass.
Oh God!
Hillbilly cell phone that's made out of a log.
You might be a redneck gift store. Oh God.
Back to this caller. He had to drive 14 miles round trip to go to some meeting
Why
in
not
person.
Just fly?
Or, well, not even that.
Zoom.
Have they got the memo that Zoom works?
Not in Ohio. They haven't got it in Ohio.
And it's like, do they actually need you in person? 14 hours of your day drive, all that waste of time and energy just so you could be in person at the is it that much of a difference? It's bizarre, right? You could sit behind a Zoom computer, save a bunch of gas and time and. Right?
I don't know because, I know that my wife, she's had to go into the office today. I know that a lot of places are kind of going back to a little bit more of at least a little bit of in the office.
It's true, and I've heard people talk about they work. My buddy works for a law firm and saying that there's a lot of business that gets done just by being in the same building and then you talking to other lawyers.
There's a cohesiveness there, yeah.
And then the new lawyers that are getting hired on as law firm aren't meeting everybody because of COVID. Everybody's working remotely, so then they don't get to talk to the other people just about their cases, like a group think type of deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen because it naturally happens when everybody's in the same place. And I understood that, but it's like driving 14 hours round trip for a meeting. One meeting seems like that should be eliminated.
It sounds like he needs to be there, though. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that. Like, I don't think it makes sense to have lower-level employees that don't need to be at the meeting driving 14 hours. In fact, I would argue the opposite, that it's reckless of the company, because if you're driving 14 hours for that meeting and you get into an accident or something, isn't that on the company's...
Well, no, not
unless
you're on the clock. If you're driving to work and get an accident, then
14 hours though, man. You better be an important part of that meeting. Or I'd say no, you don't need to show up. We do that all the time here. If there's like a meeting here, and let's say American Air and Heat, and you got something to do, and I'm going to meet them this afternoon, I just say like, nah, dog, it's 30 minutes. You stay at home. I got this, and vice versa. If we had a meeting here, and I'm literally one street over, you'd be like, you don't have to be here.
Yeah, there's certain things like when we work for a big corporation, like all those promo meetings that you go to every week where we just sit there and, you know what I'm saying? Like
I usually just play the Bubble Bobble on my phone.
That could have been done over Zoom, no problem.
True. That's true.
And it's like, do you want the person there for their brain? Do you want them there so they could see something with, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's just for them, their input in their brain, do it Zoom. And there's no point. But some people are old school. And
Call back, sir, and tell us why you needed to be there. We'll tell you why they were wrong.
Well, sometimes it's the company just, giant corporate, like, you got to be here.
Yeah, I hate that. Up.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Don't forget, Carts and Kegs is coming up this weekend, and it's going to be June 26th.
Do you have a cart? Sorry, June 26th. Didn't mean to step
We got a BDM cart.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like, because we've been talking about this a lot, I know you and Sam are in charge of it. Well, you're hosting it. I don't want to say, I don't want to give you the, I don't want to say you're in charge of it.
We're calling the race.
When it all
We're basically going to make fun of it.
When it all goes wrong, I don't want people like, where are Tom and Sam? I demand a recount.
No,
I'm not in charge.
I already told Sam we're leaving my truck running just in case we have to run out of there.
Storm the truck. Storm it.
We're bringing the old tent in case we have to leave that.
We demand a win. So, you need a cart to drive around, and then if Sam needs to use the restroom, you got to do that move where you put her in the cart and you zip her over to the porta potties, and then you zip her back.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
You're going to need a cart to be zipping around.
Well,
you need a drink. You zip over to Celery City. You zip back.
We need a zip cart.
You zip around Henry's Depot. Zip over to,
I'll make a couple calls.
You didn't get us a zip cart?
Yeah, I need a cart.
I assume there is going to be a lot of golf carts out there, and there'll be one we could use.
It's going to look like Freaknik, but golf carts. And no black people.
In our
golf carts are traditionally white people, right? I'm just calling it like I see it. Just calling it like I see it.
Golf started out as a racist club. Yes.
Well, Tiger Woods.
Yeah. there it is.
Although you rarely see him on a golf cart.
Never in a golf cart. He's walking.
So road trips. So
I enjoy a good road trip.
Yeah. No, we're both.
Are you a snacking? You're not a snacking road trip, man. You don't go and you don't prepare. You're not a prepared person, so you're not.
We stop at the roadside and get a bunch of. I usually get
beef jerky combos.
I get beef jerky. The kids get something candies.
Ring pop. You got to get a ring pop.
Yeah. My wife likes munchies. They stink.
Munchies. Yeah. What are munchies? Oh, that's
snack.
Oh, that's like a Frito-Lay product, and that's where they take mini pretzels, Sun Chips.
Yep.
Cheetos and baby Doritos, and they stuff them in the same bag.
They're not bad.
With cheese dust.
The reason I don't like them...
There is a lot of dust.
I don't like the fact that they made the Doritos smaller.
I like the small one.
I don't like baby Doritos. I like a full-size big Dorito, and even more than that, I like a Dorito that's so big it is folded over on itself during the frying process.
I have a theory about road trips.
Okay, hit me.
And I think they've never been easier. Than they have today.
Yeah, self-driving cars.
Well, not only that, but with kids. Like the stereotypical road trip, the family road trip has always been, you're driving, the kids are in the back, like fighting, and the dad is screaming.
Yes.
Well, we always drove at night to go to Virginia, and there's a meme about playing Game Boy where you're only using the lights of like an interstate to light the green Game Boy, and that meme is the most accurate meme I have ever seen. Kids will not know the struggle of trying to play a Game Boy when it's dark.
Well, even before Game Boys, it was up to kids just to look out the window, or like
even before Wooly Willy, which is just magnet shavings and a piece of plastic. You would just look out the window. I can't read driving. I get sick.
Yeah, a lot of people get car sick if they try to read.
What is that? That makes me that means I'm half man, deficient of strength.
So, Sam, I mean, this is kind of bad. Like, I feel guilty doing it, but we got this 5-hour trip up to Pensacola, whatever.
You give them the Benadryl, 5 Benadryls apiece, right? You do the 5 Benadryl cheese.
They have their screens. We have...
I'm glad you call them screens. And I hate it when parents call them tablets.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like drugs. I gave my son his tablets.
Yeah, Max has an iPad. Tommy's got an iPhone. And
these kids got better stuff than I got.
I know.
One's Android.
And they're just old.
One's Android, the other's Apple, and they fight about it.
They're just our old phone. Like, we didn't buy him his own. It was just Crystal's old iPhone.
Leftovers.
Anyway, but they have
got an
that
Apple Watch now.
Yeah. And so we can get on. Crystal can put them on her hotspot she has on her phone or whatever.
Yeah.
So they have
I thought
internet.
You were talking about her breasts.
And they will sit there for the 5 hours and not say one word and be addicted to the screen they're looking at.
Maisie will do that too until the battery dies, and then you better have a battery source or it's coming for you.
Well, it's plugged into the car.
Yeah, we don't do that.
What do you mean?
Are you sure?
It's just a wire.
Your truck, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any power sources back there.
You got
bad design flaw.
Hold on. What car are you taking?
I'm taking Andrea's old car. We like to take we're taking the nice one.
Hey, well, it's got a USB in the back.
I've never been in the back. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. There's in the back side where the AC controls are
behind
or whatever.
the center console.
Yeah. There are USB plugins for
I've
sure.
I've never thought to do that. I'm going to have to plug it in. That's smart.
No, there's a wire.
So you're not going to do any of the traditional road trip games?
Well, those are boring. Like
they
Punch Bug and like roadside. You go through the alphabet
but
with roads.
That's a rite of passage, right?
No, we could force it. Then that's the thing too.
I mean, not the whole 5 hours.
Yeah. Some of it. It's us as parents. We're lazy. Like it just you give them the screens. We're stressed out. We're riding 5 hours.
So who's doing the driving? You're doing the driving.
Yes, only because we are towed the RV. Well, my wife complains how horrible.
So what
my
are you and
is.
Crystal doing for the 5 hours?
Sitting in silence.
Since the boys will be playing on.
Or do you put one earbud in facing on your traffic ear?
I've tried
that way
that.
She can't see it.
I've tried that, but I have a special
an earpiece. You have an Impractical Joker Sal. You have an Impractical Joker Sal Volcano earpiece, and then I'm like, hey, tell them you're gay. Tell them you're gay.
I'm too dumb to listen to my wife talk and a podcast in my ear. It starts scrambling my brain where I have to take out the podcast.
Talking to the podcast.
And then here's the problem. I take out the ear pod, and then my wife tells me something insignificant, like how she felt the other day or what she feels.
Her feelings. Insignificant.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying like something.
Oh, my God. I have the chill bumps right now.
Just something. She's like,
okay, great.
You know what's weird? I thought about, John from some friend of ours, and then I saw him on Facebook, and then I have to listen to that.
I forgot her magical power.
Yeah. So something irrelevant to anything.
I dreamt of what's happening right now.
Small talk, I'll say.
Yeah.
And then
you hate small talk.
Here's the problem. I took the earbud out for too long, so now when I put it back in, it won't instantly start playing. So I have to go and pull my phone out of my tight pocket.
Don't have it in your pocket. Have it in the door handle.
Well,
have it in your hand and be staring at it.
The problem is I can't put anything anywhere where I'll forget about it because I'll forget about it. So if I put that phone in the door handle,
then you'll leave it in the door handle.
Not only will I leave it there, but I'll open the door to get gas. It'll fall out.
I can't. He's right.
I can't risk. I know myself too well.
Yeah, you do.
Like
you don't have a thing on your dash to put your phone on?
Not allowed.
No.
Because they'd be paying attention to that and not her. Not allowed.
Well, no, I never got got the old
pop socket holder.
Yeah, the holder.
You need a holder.
Get a holder.
Well, because both our cars you plug your phone in.
Yeah,
and
like
then
Apple CarPlay or Android Auto.
Yeah, and then it goes to, like my truck. If I plug my phone in my center console,
my truck becomes my phone.
the entire screen, the console screen becomes
So then use that. Instead of having to pull your phone out.
No, he's not supposed to be listening to podcast.
Then she knows.
Yeah.
Then the crow knows.
Then the crow knows.
Yeah.
Crow knows baseball.
It's all
crow
about
knows football.
Yeah. It's all about. It's all about hiding my enjoyments.
That is terrible,
it's a miserable
man.
life.
It's all about hiding your enjoyment. That's what life's all about, man. Hiding your enjoyment.
If the crow sees you enjoy anything,
she'll peck your eyeballs out.
Swoop down there and take it from you.
Like a French fry. You're about to eat the French fry. Crow swoops down, grabs that French fry.
Like, why do you enjoy this more than talking to me? How much do you know about football gambling?
Maisie does that incessantly with me. Like last night I made sloppy joes, and I have this hot sauce that I enjoy on my sloppy joes. Like I enjoy this hot sauce on everything. It's called Secret Aardvark sauce. It's very good. It's a habanero.
Where do you get it?
You get it at like Whole Foods. It's hard to find. It's like an up north thing, but it's delicious. And it's really spicy. And
what kind of consistency? Because my favorite consistency of hot sauce is either what's the one Gringos uses? Valentina's or Crystal.
Crystal has a good consistency. It's good that you like that one. That's your wife's name.
And Tabasco 2 water.
So no, this is like a little thicker than that. It's like you have to kind of shake it out. And but Maisie, with everything I do, and this is why I think maybe, just maybe, she's becoming Junior Crow. She'll be like, why do you like Secret Aardvark? Why do you eat the Sloppy Joes? Why do you like Diet Mountain Dew?
Oh, God.
Why do you like
podcasts? Absolutely insane.
Like, why do you like everything is like,
why?
Yeah, but it's all like, why do you like that? It's always like with a little bit of like.
So it's Tom. Why do you like that? Tell me why you like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what's funny is...
you do realize that he would really enjoy being with Maisie, and I would really enjoy being with Tommy and Max.
Yep, Tommy and Max say nothing. They sit in silence all the time.
That's what I want to do.
They're like little minions. I heard that when they were here the other day in the studio. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was little whispers. And I was like, what is going on in there? I felt like they were conspiring to kill us.
They're not. They don't. They just sit and...
Yeah, they just sit there and do their thing.
Well, I feed them lunch, and I'm sitting there quiet. It's quiet in the house, whatever. They're just silently eating their lunch, and I'm
here.
I tell them, I'm like, tell me about your day. What do you like this about? Like,
nothing.
The only time they talk to me is at night before they fall asleep, and that's because they want to stay awake.
Yeah, brain dump.
Then I take that time to actually talk to them.
Talk to about war.
Anything, because they'll listen to me.
Let's get to work. We got limited time here. All right, AIDS.
Here's your history
Let's talk
lesson.
about AIDS. It is a disease.
I want them to ask questions like, why do you like this? Why they don't ask nothing?
Well, but I don't even know what to say to her. So I come back with a snappy answer. She's like, why do you like Secret Aardvark? I'm like, well, why do you like dancing? We bully each other back and forth. We do a little like, she's like, why do you like that hot sauce? And I'm like, well, why do you like doing cartwheels, you bitch?
I explain, like, if my sons ask me why they like hot sauce, I would go into, well, your palate is
I've done
more
that
sensitive
before.
when you're a kid. Then as you get older, your taste buds dull, so then you want a spicier.
And they're not falling asleep while you're saying.
Oh, they are.
No, they don't even care. They're like, why are you telling me this? Like, I didn't even ask. But if Maisie asks, I'll sit and tell Maisie about how the moon was made, like the universe. Although my sons, I keep trying to tell Max, because Max is like, I know who the first human was. They're still indoctrinated from like preschool. Like it was Adam and Eve, and I'm like, that's not true. Like,
leave him alone. I hope he sticks to that for life.
I'm like, Max, how
leave alone?
Can all humans come from? It would be incest. I
like that he's like, nah, it's Adam and Eve.
Who would Adam and Eve's kids? Having kids with if it would be, it doesn't make any sense.
Next time I see him, I'm gonna be like Adam and Eve, and he'll be like Adam and Eve.
I try to explain evolution to them.
Why? You don't even understand evolution.
I kind of understand it. I understand it enough to tell them, basically how it works.
I'd love to hear those conversations.
I'll tell you.
No, I don't want you to tell
we all
me.
came from
I want to hear you and your boys talk.
A primate.
Is it just you talking to two little quiet boys that are staring at you?
Yeah. They don't care. And then I have to dumb it down and then tell them false information because I'm like,
well, then you're not doing any good.
Yeah. What is the point?
Maybe they're not there yet.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm like, we came
just
from.
tell them bedtime stories
from primates. A primate.
Do they know what a primate is?
Well, and then I say monkey, and then like we came from monkeys, and then I'm like, yeah, because I'm like, but it's not true,
monkey.
really.
I'm a monkey.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Adam and Eve were monkeys.
I'm like,
and they're like, oh God, what have I done?
Anyway,
let's do a couple of voicemail, maybe emails, while we kind of meander through this segment. This one has to do with you pausing, I think. Like, the listeners, and I don't like this, but the listeners love to kind of drill down our patterns of speech. Like, they've been with us long enough to know, like, our
they hear it every day.
and how we talk. Like, people know now, they'll write me and they'll say, like, I know when you're doing a fake voice, or I know when you're doing a character because you have a specific cadence that I can tell when your mind is spinning to think of things to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, that's all how it works. You're making me feel bad about getting older and how the distance between these
the neurons firing.
They're just firing slower, and you're pointing that out. So I appreciate that. But let's try this one.
Hey guys, Mike from Mount Dora here.
He forgot where he was from.
One thing I've been noticing Tom doing that makes me laugh every time. He'll go into this crazy.
Before you insult Tom, I will say that I've never asked him where he's from and had him not remember it. So, shots fired.
Cockamamie story or theory or just kind of give you a little tidbit of an idea of what he's talking about, and then pause, and then, well, let me explain. Or he'll say something, let me explain, or and here's why. And I don't know if is he wanting us to be like on the edge of our seats, waiting with bated breath about,
oh, this guy's a real jerk.
What does he mean by that? I hope he explains it. No, bro, just say your crazy theory and then
come on.
Leave alone.
Tell us why. Tell us why. You don't have to tell us every time that you're going to explain
He's
it.
He's a storyteller and presenter, sir. He's a raconteur.
Like every other normal human being.
Well, that's where you're wrong. He's not a normal human being.
Yeah. You think there's any method to this? Or I'm like,
madness.
Also, I'm explaining it to myself.
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking about you, sir. I don't even as I'm talking, I'm like, let me explain. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah. He's like, okay, Tom, you're ready for lunch. Yes, I am. Allow me to explain. Yes, indeed.
I'm just telling myself.
Yeah, exactly. And you're a storyteller. You're setting it up.
Nothing.
Yeah, he hurt your feelings.
No, you didn't. No.
I hope you're happy, sir.
You cannot hurt my feelings. So
I hope you're happy, sir.
I am well aware of all my flaws and how dumb I am. I know. I do not think that I'm anything.
My therapist, first thing I said to my therapist yesterday, my therapist goes, "What are you thinking right now?" I go, "How ugly I am." Seriously, she goes,
don't tell her that.
She looked at me. She's like, "Oh
she's
my
gonna be
God."
gone in a couple
look
weeks.
at her face. It was that. The look at her face.
You couldn't be thinking about how ugly you were.
I was at that point.
No, come on.
I also did this thing where she came out to get me, and she was like, "Daniel, we're ready for her." I was like, "Oh!" And like she scared me, and she's like, "You looked at me like you'd never seen me before."
Just tell her what she wants to hear. The easiest thing. Say everything's going fine.
Are we out of here? Or are we coming back?
We're out of here.
All right. Well, let me just tell you, it has been a pleasure being with you today. We cannot thank you enough. We loved being here, and we hope you loved being here as well.
Yeah. We'll see you at Carts and Kegs this weekend. Have a good day.
Bring your carts.